Okay, so we started recording.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Just
So,
check. Oh my gosh,
welcome back to the Chats with Quabs. What happened?
nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
Yeah, let's start again.
Welcome back to the Chats with Quabs. We just recorded part 1 of this video, and we're transitioning into part 2. And so if you haven't watched part 1, go and watch it before you watch this video, okay?
Pause,
and go look for part 1. That said, I have a lovely guest here with me.
Hi.
Zarina. Oh, well, you should introduce yourself.
I'm Zarina.
Yes. Yes, so Zarina is here with me. We're just going to have a conversation. Again, we're letting you into some of the conversations that we have. All we've done is put a camera here so you can hear what we are saying. But usually, these are the types of things we talk about. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to jump in right now. But before we do that, I just want to encourage you people to subscribe. Come on, just click on the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Yeah,
it's free.
It's free. So just subscribe so that you can keep up with what's going on in this channel, right? Yeah. Zarina, do you want to say anything before we jump into
anything, my boy?
I don't know. Okay, she doesn't have anything to say. She said God loves you. He does. So that's, for those of you who need to hear that, God loves you. Okay, so now I'm going to jump in. So we talked about like platonic relationships in our first video. But now we're going to transition into romantic relationships. Yeah. And those of you who are nosy, take it easy. We're not going to be revealing any names or anything. We're just going to be talking about lessons we've learned, maybe from our own like experiences, but from other people as well, right?
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's good.
And so you're not going to find out like all the deeds. You just get the lessons, okay? Yeah. Nosy people, chillax.
Yeah. If you want the deeds from Crystal,
no,
because it's her channel.
No.
Comment.
No.
Send her an email.
No.
DM her on Instagram.
I want to jump right in and ask Zarina, first person, to share what have been.
Why am I always first?
Because you're the guest.
Fine. I'm going to do the chat with Zaza. Okay.
So what have you learned in your past relationships?
My past relationships.
Other people,
oh gosh.
Relationships. But I want to know.
Oh man, it's such a big question. There's so much. There's so much to learn. There's so much you can learn.
So what have you learned so far?
Wow. Okay, let's start from one thing.
Okay.
Let's start from one thing. I'll say this is something I've learned from my most recent relationship. Realize I didn't say current on my last. I just said most recent. So
that's
you don't
right.
know.
So those of y'all who are nosy.
And is that in all relationships, but especially in a romantic relationship, you are most responsible for yourself.
That's true.
So it's very easy for us to like, you did this, like place blame or like I didn't like it when you did this. But it's very, very important to realize that you are...
What part did you play?
Exactly. Like, you are accountable first.
That's true.
To yourself. And regardless of what the other person did, right? How did you react? You are still responsible for your reactions. Like, it's about you.
That's so true.
You know?
Ooh, girl,
like, being responsible for yourself.
Yes. So, assess yourself. Don't always place blame.
Exactly.
I think for me, also, like, since we're trying to be transparent, I've been that person who has always seen I'm always casting blame on the other person, like, well, you didn't do this, or you said that, or you shouldn't have said that, and things like that. And it's like, okay, but how about you though? Right. Like, what part are you playing in the mess that has occurred? And mess is pretty strong, but for example, if there's a disagreement or something, like, what part did you play? You know, like a squabble, because those happen all the time. Maybe too much in my past, but you know. Yeah, man. Because there were times when I was just like, well, why are we always arguing about these stupid things? But yeah, that's a good point.
What about you? Sorry, guys.
What I've learned taking, and I think, you know, even kind of adding to what you said, is communication, because well, for me in the past, like, I just never really used to communicate. Like, I would just not say like how I was really feeling, because I just didn't want certain outcomes.
Right.
Which is stupid because, and I mean, maybe, you know, what am I saying? What am I saying, Zarina?
Communicate.
Right, communicate, but also like understand what your part is in whatever you're communicating. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not always.
That's good.
You're not always like pointing the finger at the other person and saying, well, you didn't. You know how like that's a type of communication that doesn't work.
Yes.
But it's kind of like a communication that is like, okay, I did this, you did this, but how are we going to resolve this? You know, especially if you want it to work. If you don't want it to work and you don't care, that's on you. Yeah. But if you want it to work, like, okay, let's figure this thing out. But let's talk about it. Don't just be thinking that this is what I meant when I said that, or this is, you know, this person acted this way, so this is what they meant. Like, actually hash things out, because that's how you get to know about the person and get to learn more about the person, right? Yeah, so that's one thing that I'll say that, and I really wish this for all relationships, even not just romantic relationships, but also platonic relationships, that people just are more honest and more open and you know, communicative, you know, and talk about your stuff.
It goes a long way.
It does. It helps.
Yeah.
Especially if you have something good. You know, something that's worth keeping and something that's worth, you know, working on. Like, talk about this stuff, you know, even if it's hard. Yeah.
No, really, like, we could do a whole, like, video series on communication. Like, it's crazy, but it's surprising just how much can be misunderstood.
Oh, my goodness.
Especially when you're in a romantic relationship. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So if you sit down and assume, or like you draw your own conclusions, like, well, yeah, when I did this is what he did, and I'm just like he's so mean. Does he even really love me?
Yeah. And mind you, that's also, you know, like your assumptions are based on your own insecurities, your own experiences, you know, all of those type of things. So it's not
internal stuff.
Exactly. So it might not even be legit.
Exactly. Like, so much gets misunderstood.
Yeah.
So if, like, it's just, nobody can stress on it enough. Communicate. Like, no matter how uncomfortable it may feel, or how you feel like you may be justified, so you're just going to keep quiet. That's one end of the spectrum. There are people who are like, yeah, I'm right anyway, so like, why are we going to talk about this? And then there are people who are like, I just want there to be peace.
Oh, that's
so
bad.
Let's move on.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's wrong.
Don't do that.
It will come up as another time. A volcano of issues.
You're not the one bringing world peace. Like, you ain't Kofi Annan. Go and discuss. Like, we did not ask you. Like, actually talk about it. Like, that is actually what brings lasting peace. Like, lasting peace. Because if you just sweep things under the carpet in the name of just wanting peace and quiet, or like calm, trust me, like, that ugly thing is going to rear its head again.
Definitely. And the annoying thing, or the unfortunate thing, is that it will rear its head unexpectedly.
Exactly.
But it will just be so messy, you know, just you just spew.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And the other person is gonna be like, well, why didn't you say it when it happened?
And you know what? Let me just say, I'm that person who I just like, listen, I don't like harbored emotions. Like, if you feel a certain type of way, please just let me know. Because then when you come and you be saying all sorts of things later on, I'm just like, but why didn't you say this in the first place? Yeah. You know, it helps a lot. It moves things along very smoother and quicker. Although it's very uncomfortable in the moment, it's so much better in the long run. Yeah. So, for sure. Anything else?
That's good.
Okay, I will go. I will
go.
I was going to say, well, personally, something that I know that I have to work on. Guys, I don't know why I'm sharing all of this with you. Why do you care? But anyway.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe it's going to translate into your own life. But trust issues, man. We're talking about this before, right, Zarina?
Yeah, girl.
Girl, listen. Or boy, listen. Whoever is watching, like, listen. Work through your trust issues. Because you don't want them appearing in certain places where they should not be appearing, especially in your romantic relationship. It does not help. And I mean, we're not talking about every romantic relationship. We're talking about the ones that have like potential. That this is a good person that you're with, and you want to see him move forward. Work on your trust issues. Work on your internal things, because you sabotage yourself in your relationships when you don't acknowledge, first of all, that you have trust issues, and secondly, how it's affecting your relationship. And it actually goes back to communication, because sometimes the reason why you're not communicating is because you don't really trust the person.
Wow.
Or you don't even trust yourself, right? Trust issues. There's so many layers to it, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
So, do an account of yourself and just look at like your past behavior and just see like what is recurring, what's happening continuously, and be honest with yourself, because you can only get better by being honest.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know what you have to deal with,
you're
not going to actually work on that thing to get better. You know. So yes, I'm one of those people. 100%. Trust issues, man. It was a big thing for me. I'm working on it though. I'm actively working on it. And I think even part of working on it is sharing it.
True.
With the world. For whoever is going to watch.
That's 50%.
It's a very vulnerable moment.
Yeah. But that's real. Yeah. Like definitely working through my own trust issues, and I didn't know I had trust issues.
Girl, preach.
So yeah. They can really like hide themselves, like underneath. But like Crystal said it perfectly. Assess yourself, be introspective.
Yes,
like look within. Why did I say what I just said to my partner? Why is it that when my partner tells me this, I have a hard time believing that this is what he actually means? You know?
That's real, girl.
Ask yourself those questions.
Yeah, seriously.
And start doing the work of dropping all that baggage.
Yeah. And that said, for you people out there who are saying things that you don't mean, and you're saying things and you're doing other things, you have to stop. It's not good because you're contributing to the trust issues. You have to stop it.
You're making it difficult for the right people.
Exactly. Because if you're going to say something, do what you're saying, or, I mean, that's not to say don't make mistakes, but don't make mistakes that are like, or those are not mistakes, those are intentional things, right? Where you're just like living outside of what you're saying. Don't do that. That's wrong. Okay. Try and help.
Angry.
Yes. Because there are some trash people.
It's true.
Out there.
Both men and women.
Both men and women. Yeah. No, it's not just women. Not just men. Women too are part.
Yeah.
But that's just to say, like, get it together. Stop doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Zaza.
Good.
Anything else you want to add?
Lessons learned from relationships.
Yeah, plenty.
Plenty.
For my Ghanaian people out there.
I think the things we've talked about are the big ones. Though.
Yeah.
Because so much falls under that.
It's
like,
true,
not allowing your experiences not projecting like the negativity that you've experienced from other relationships onto your right relationship.
It's true.
And I
but
say
it's
right,
so hard though.
It is so hard. It's almost impossible.
Right. Yeah, but you're
like
right.
That's
though.
why like you have to identify the trust issue. Like communicate and work through it together.
Yeah,
like
true. Both people have to be honest with themselves and like do their work. You see, because the thing about being in a relationship is that you're two individual people coming together into a relationship. Like you guys have to do your work individually, so that when you come together, you can work on making the relationship better. Because if one person is doing the work and the other person isn't, like it does not synchronize. Like the thing is not gelling. And it's so, I mean, like all these things that we're saying, it's not easy, but it's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's important.
Yeah. So if you are single right now, like also have those introspective moments.
Yeah,
like if you journal, just try and be your best self and your most whole self, your most healed self before entering into a relationship.
It's true.
But also, like, you don't have to be the perfect person before you go into a relationship.
You're never going to be.
Because like, you're never going to be the perfect person. Even when you get there and you're whole and you're healed.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen.
Girl. Boy.
Yeah. Both. But I really believe, like, there's just a certain solidifying that happens when you are actually in the right relationship.
It's true.
And the person can affirm.
Yeah.
That, like, I recognize, like, this brokenness in you. Even if you've overcome it, like, even if they're not wounds, like, I see the scars and I'm telling you, like, this adds to your beauty. Like, for me.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
The right person, guys. I'm big on this. Like,
it's true.
Yeah. And I'm Christian, so...
Yes.
Hear from God.
You know this is a
It's not because He's buying you flowers.
Come on. You better tell
dinner. I will cook that dinner for you.
Or cook it yourself.
Or cook it yourself.
Or take yourself off. Yeah. How about that?
Choose the right people.
Choose the right person. It's important.
Don't be bamboozled.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you people who are lying to people, let me come back and say it. I'm very passionate about stop lying to people. Because sometimes the person thinks, do you know what I mean? Like the person is trying their best to make it work, but you're lying. Don't be a liar. if you don't like the person or you don't want to see it go long term, just leave.
Yeah.
You know, or like lay your cards on the table. Maybe you don't want it to be long term. Maybe you just want to have fun. Let the person know. So if the person also wants to have fun, they can stay in a relationship. If they don't want to have fun, why are they in a relationship with someone who wants to have fun? Exactly. But they don't want to. Just get it together, guys. Okay.
Guys, you have to give perfect information.
Come on. Be honest.
This is economics. If there's imperfect information or something is hidden, that's a market failure there.
Exactly. Failure.
And God forbid market failure. Our market must sell.
Our market is selling and it's growing, you know? But profiting. Yeah,
like if you know you don't want that relationship or you can't commit to that relationship, be fair.
Come on.
Be fair and just like maybe it's the right person but not the right time.
Yes, it's true.
And be fair to that person.
Yes,
and
I agree.
walk away.
Because you know what, and I always say this, at the end of the day, when you play with people's hearts like that, do you know who pick up the pieces?
Yeah.
It's their friends. And that's not to say that I don't want to. Like, it's tiring sometimes, you know? Because I'm just like, please, like, seriously. Because I have so many friends who are going through heartbreak. And I'm like, guys, like, get it together. Like, the girl didn't have... And I'm talking about guys because my friends are... Right. Most of the friends who are going through this are girls.
Girls, sorry.
Yeah. Like, we have to pick up the pieces. Sometimes it's heavy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's heavy. It's a lot, you know? So just do the right thing, okay, please. Yeah, okay. I've ended my spiel. Oh, it might come up again, but maybe not. Okay.
It most likely will. But yeah.
I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Is there anything else? I think, so one thing, what have you done well in a relationship?
Wow.
Because I think it's good to speak positively about, like, or acknowledge the things that we've done that are
so
good.
Me personally,
yeah.
What have I done well in a relationship?
Yeah. And you can also say what the other person has done well that you have appreciated.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be, you know, whatever relationship you've had, whatever experience you've had that has been positive to you. Yeah. You can share that as well.
Guys, I feel like there's not a lot I do well.
Stop!
in romantic relationships,
You're being hard on yourself.
Maybe I am, but guys, like I can be wild.
Wild mama.
And it took me a while to get to this point, but I think I've finally gotten to the place where it's no longer painful to admit faults.
Oh, that's good.
And apologize. Okay, it's painful, right? Because we are all human beings, but like it's not as painful.
Yeah.
And it's for the greater good. Like, who said this? I don't remember. Probably like a pastor somewhere. And the question was, do you want to be right or do you want to be reconciled? And knowing like it's just not worth it for me to be right and be without this person that I say I love.
Yeah.
Like, just eat that humble pie and say I'm sorry. I think that's one thing that I've really had to learn. And I would say, like, I'm trying, so I'm going to give myself a pat on the back.
Yes, why not?
That's one
Give
thing.
yourself a pat. Acknowledge that, I'm and it's going to get better.
Yeah, amen.
From glory to glory, from levels to levels.
Amen.
And, you know, how about, like, what you've received that has been good?
Man, what I've received that has been good, guys, like, where do I begin?
Oh. I'm not going to cut it out. This is going to be a tribute to... Because Zarina's in a relationship. I'm not.
Wow! Open keys! I was being so cryptic and coded.
But you don't think... But you don't want them to know that you're in a relationship?
No, you can know I'm in a relationship.
They just don't know who you're in a relationship with. So that's fine.
Sure.
We can cut it out if you don't want it to.
No,
for real.
You can leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, guys. So I guess now you know.
Yeah, and like listen to her because she's walking through a lot of it right now. So what she's saying is actually like tangible because she's walking through it. So pick something from it. Yeah, everybody's journey. There's something to learn on everybody's journey.
That's true.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I do.
I think one thing that I've received that has been amazing is just patience.
For
someone to actually be patient with you. And guys, like, I said it before, like, I can be wild. Like, I'm not joking, I can be wild. I can be wild. As people who really, really know me, like, I can be buck wild crazy. So, for all of that to be met with sheer patience.
That's good.
And just like, like, you know, we all know this popular scripture, like, love is patience, love is kind. Like, they knew what they were saying, where the first thing they said is love is patience.
It's true,
because there's nothing that, like, dismantles a person than, like, I'm still here.
Oh yeah,
like I'm
true.
still giving you grace.
That's very true. Zarina.
Like all arms are up, but I'm here. I'm present.
That's
I'm
what makes God
grace.
So amazing.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly. And for a partner to be able to emulate that, guys, it's amazing. So I think it's both patience and grace. Where like,
which is it's very, because when you said love is patient, I just thought about the Bible verse that says love covers a multitude of sins.
Oh my God, yeah.
Seriously, that's like patience and grace all in one. You know?
Yes. So. And that's exactly what it has been for me, because it truly, like, thank you for that, because it has been a multitude of sins, like against the person I'm in a relationship with, maybe even against myself, against other people.
But you're right.
The love, like, and that's the love of God, right?
That's so true.
It has always been there to cover that.
A multitude of, Girl, you better preach, man. It's true. What I would say about, like, some of the positive things that I've received that I think I would, and I mean, I'm single, guys, so
slide in her DM. If you are correct, Sha, if you know you mean business,
because your girl is
if you know you mean business,
don't. I chop things up.
And see, I have a very, very high lie detector radar.
Girl, BS detector.
I will punch your throat. Don't disturb Crystal if you know you're not ready. So thank you, Zarina.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But what I have experienced that has been really good has been saying how you feel. I think that's so important. Because
that's valuable.
It's so valuable, because I just generally am not that person who does that. Especially when it comes, like, when there's a lot to lose. Yeah. In quotes, right? So I think that's something that I have learned that I would like to, like, carry forward in subsequent, I don't want to say relationships, because I'm not planning on doing that. I just don't have the time. But, like, in whatever my future relationship is going to look like. Right. So that's one thing that I really have respected from past encounters. What do I think I do on relationships? Chai. I was calling you out, but
I know. Answer yourself.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I feel like I've just, like, grown a lot in the past couple of years. So I don't know. I feel like I was just a mess.
When you were in
So, but I think what I do well, at least, is I just think I'm there, to be honest. Like, I'm just there. If I want to do life with someone, like, I'm always there. If I don't care about you, not really. I might be there, but just not all of myself. But I give everything I am to, like, things that I'm, like, very, like, I want this to work type of thing. So I think that's what I do well. Like, I'll just give you everything. You know. I mean, I'll still use my head, but you're gonna, like, I give you my all. I'm an all or nothing type of person, like, in a lot of ways. So, yeah.
It's true. It's true. Guys.
So, oh man, this is a therapy session.
No, but it's a good one.
Is it what happened?
Guys, Crystal always says something. It's like, we all need therapy. Seriously, and it's actually true. Like,
girl and boys,
we all need therapy.
If you look down on therapy, I mean, shame on you. Or, like, Charlie, there's too much that's happened.
There's a lot of issues.
We need to work through a lot of things. Yeah. So, if you haven't ever considered it, consider it. I'm serious, because me stuff, I'm looking. Yeah. I'm actually, like, actively today. I spoke to somebody. Another glimpse into my life. About getting into therapy. I mean, I didn't have, like, a therapy session. Right. But we're working on it. We'll see where that leads. Yeah. You know, who I get connected to, because, there's a lot of stuff that we have to work on. You don't want to carry your baggage into your future, man. It's too much.
And it's like you yourself processing your own things, and you don't have that clarity. Like, seriously, sometimes it helps even just to say it out for you to realize, like, man, I've been thinking about this wrong the whole time, or maybe I need to work on this.
And for someone else's perspective too.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you don't see things too clearly because you're so siloed in how you see things, and someone else can bring a different
fresh
perspective.
English, Crystal. Siloed.
My dad would be proud of me. SATs. No, but for real though, and also just getting things out.
Yeah.
Because we just put, like, as we've gone through life, there's just a lot of things that we just shelve and put aside, and you work through it, but you don't really deal with it fully, and then you just put it to the side and then you move on. But then when you go through therapy, when you talk to people, it's like they're able to uncover those layers and just bring things out that you didn't realize that, oh, the reason why I'm acting like this is because of this particular thing, So I encourage, I don't know how this turned to therapy, but I think you should definitely do it.
Go for it.
If you haven't considered it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to?
Romantic relationships.
There's
plenty, guys. Lessons learned. Learn to let go of the bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That hits me in a special place.
Why? Expand on it a little bit before I say more.
No, because it's easy to remember, and as I said, for someone who has trust issues, or who had, because we're working on it, people, if something bad happened, I'm going to remember that this happened, and just like maybe close up a little bit, because you're not letting it go and seeing, like giving the person the benefit, maybe not even giving the person the benefit of the doubt, but just allowing the person to make mistakes and then move forward from that thing that happened in the past. And that especially for people who have actually apologized. And if some people don't apologize, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't let it go.
Exactly.
For your own sake.
Yeah. Especially if this is the person that you're in a relationship with.
It's true.
And I'm not talking about the things that are like flagrant flaws.
Another SAT word. Come on, girl.
Come on now. Not those things, because anyway, I'll get to that later, but I'm talking about those things that that if you let it go,
it will suit you guys well.
It will suit you guys well. You've forgiven, you've putting it aside, and you're moving on.
Move on.
The goal is to move on. Like, for even your own sanity, like, move on.
Come on.
But now, for the things that, like, the flagrant flaws or whatever, the important thing that I've learned to always remember, there's no perfect person.
Try. My mom says this a lot.
There is no perfect man. There is no perfect woman. Someone may be perfect for you as a good compliment, but trust me, this person is laden with flaws. And you will have to choose the ones that you can overlook, but you also have to identify
the things
that you can't. Well, okay, yes, the things that you can't overlook, like non-negotiables, which are red flags, and you know that because of this, I can't be with this person. But for a person that you've committed to be with, you also have to identify the places where you can be a support for that person to help them. To help them overcome it. Because that's what relationships are like.
It's true.
What's that Bible verse about two